What's cooking, everybody? It's Door and welcome to phase 2 of the Polestar Expedition in No Man's Sky. In this video I will of course show you how to complete the second phase in the No Man's Sky Polestar Expedition and how to do this in an efficient and logical way. If you missed the video on the first phase on how to unlock these exclusive posters, make sure to check that one out. But without any further ado, let's get straight into it. So after completing the first phase of the expedition, I would select phase 2 and then select the log 2 into the black milestone, which will require you to read the crew's log. So make sure to summon your starship, get into it and fly back up to your freighter. When you have landed on your freighter, make sure to get out of your starship and walk up to the bridge. You'll notice that you get the mission that the log is inaccessible and that the cruise has not yet reached the destination. So make sure to go into the milestones tab and select the reach the second rendezvous milestone. Then just walk up to the freighter warp drive and follow the expedition route. My next jump being in the Itsulda system. As always, in every new system, make sure to head towards your starship and fly out of your capital ship, fly into the space station and get out of your ship. This will make sure that you can return to this system at any time via teleporter, but it will also allow you to unlock another exosuit slot. A second exosuit slot per system can be unlocked in the anomaly. Go to this machine all the way in the back to be able to do so. Now you should also have unlocked these 2 exosuit expansion units within the previous phase. So make sure to interact with the machine again, and then I would recommend to use them on your cargo slots, as these are the most expensive. After you've done so, return to your freighter and walk up to the bridge to be able to continue your journey towards the second rendezvous. Next we're being into the target system, Navaguch. So once you're there, you should be able to reselect the log 2 milestone. Make sure to walk up to the captain and choose the option to access ship's log. And once you've done so, the log 2 into the black milestone will be completed, and this rewards you with the orbital exocraft materializer plans, 3 wiring loom and the yellow paint freighter customization. Now make sure to go towards your starship again and enter it. Fly out of your freighter. Make sure to reselect the second rendezvous milestone, but before going there, of course, visit the space station and the anomaly to be able to return here, and for your extra slots, do so. Please, please, please do so every time. And once you have done so, it is of course time to fly towards the second rendezvous point. So make sure to fly there. Now this is a tricky one, as the approximate landing location is within water. So make sure to find a piece of land nearby and to land on it. Get out of your starship and start moving towards the approximate location of the rendezvous. You can use your target sweep function on the analysis visor to home in on the exact location. Make sure to check back regularly to see if you're still heading into the right direction. Once you're within range, you can of course finalize the signal. And when you get close by, the rendezvous 2 milestone will be completed. And this will reward you with the teleport chamber plans, 3333 nanites, the salvage frigate module and 2 inventory slots. You can use the inventory slots right away. As I mentioned earlier, make sure to use them on your cargo slots, as these are most expensive. And if you want, you can of course interact with this terminal. So next up, I would recommend to select the drop protocol milestone, which will require you to construct the orbital exocraft materializer onto your freighter. And you can also have a look at constructing a teleport chamber aboard your freighter, as we just unlocked the blueprints for to do so. The orbital exocraft materializer will need 150 gold, 50 ionized cobalt and 3 warp cells in order to be constructed onto your freighter. So what I would recommend is to land your ship on a more suitable place upon this planet. And while you are on this planet, also make sure to scan some planetary flora, as you will need to do so for the Engine of Life milestone as well. In order to create the warp cells needed, you'll need oxygen and ferrite dust for the antimatter housings, so make sure to craft 3 of them. And then you'll need antimatter, which will require 25 chromatic metal and 20 condensed carbon. Once that's constructed, make sure to craft the warp cells needed. If you run out of chromatic metal or copper, make sure to visit a copper deposit on this world as well to fill up your copper resources, as we will need to create 3 more antimatter for the teleport chamber. If you have all those supplies, make sure to take off. Find some asteroids in space and make sure to shoot them to harvest some silver and gold. After you've done so, summon the anomaly. Walk towards the back of the anomaly and interact with the synthesis laboratory. And then choose to unlock the amino chamber for 250 nanites. Now the amino chamber will require 1 metal plating, 20 chlorine and 25 condensed carbon. Make sure to return to your ship and fly out of the anomaly. As we will also be needing to harvest some cobalt, I would recommend to fly towards the noxious planet Rarok. Land your starship and get out of it. Use your analysis visor to locate a cobalt deposit and go there. Once there, use your terrain manipulator to harvest the cobalt. So once you have collected enough cobalt, ferrite dust and carbon, it's time to head back towards your starship and to take off. Now we will still need some chlorine for the amino chamber. Make sure to go to your Discoveries tab and check all the planets of systems you visited earlier to see if there's any chlorine or salt on one of those planets. Like the Torrid planet Kobasi in the Higariki system, for example. So make sure to head your way towards a teleporter aboard either the anomaly or a space station. If you have been listening to me at all in these videos, you will know that you are able to return towards any system you have visited earlier if you visited the space station. So make sure to warp into the system. Once you are in the Higariki system, enter your starship and look for the Torrid planet Kobasi and make sure to warp there. Land on the planet, get out, and this time use your analysis visor to locate a salt deposit. Do be careful though, as this is an extreme planet. And once you're at the salt deposit, of course make sure to harvest it. Once you have collected the salt, make sure to head back towards your ship and take off. Once in space, summon your freighter. Go towards your refiner and interact with it. Make sure to refine the cobalt into ionized cobalt. Once it's done, make sure to extract the ionized cobalt and put in some salt to create some chlorine. So now you have the 150 gold, 50 ionized cobalt and 3 warp cells. It's time to build the orbital exocraft materializer. Open up the build menu and select it. Choose an appropriate place and place it down. And doing so will of course unlock the drop protocol milestone, and claiming this will reward you with the Nautilus chamber plans, the Roamer geobay plans and the exocraft specialist rooms plans. Open up the Expeditions tab and select the constructed teleport chamber. Head back towards your refiner and extract the chlorine. So the metal plating you can craft by using ferrite dust, and of course refine some carbon to turn it into condensed carbon. Don't forget to refine some copper into chromatic metal as well. Now you should have all the supplies to create the amino chamber, so do so. So when the copper is done, use it in combination with condensed carbon to create 3 antimatter. So now you have all the materials, it's time to build the teleport chamber. Open up the build menu and once again use an appropriate location for it to construct. And doing so will unlock the Across Infinity milestone, and this will reward you with the technology room expansion plans, construction specialist room plans and the advanced mining laser plans. And now you can use your teleporter aboard your freighter to teleport into systems. You can of course also return towards the previous system, which was the Rendezvous 2 system. Now in order to complete the second phase of the expedition, we will still need to complete 3 more milestones. So make sure to track the Freedom of the Seas milestone, which will require you to deploy the Nautilus submarine. Fly out of the space station and locate a planet with large bodies of water. And of course make sure to fly there. So land on the planet and get out of your starship. You'll notice that you cannot summon your Nautilus as you do not own the exocraft yet. In order to own it, you will have to place down the Nautilus chamber, which will require 5 metal plating, 4 crystal sulfide and 100 salt. So make sure to craft the metal plating and to head into the water. You can use your analysis visor to look around for crystal sulfide. Once you see it, make sure to tag it and to go there. Harvest the crystal sulfide, but be cautious as these fans will spew and this will damage you when you're close by. Now if you are like me and have not collected enough salt on the previous planet to also build the Nautilus, make sure to look around for these acid white minerals, these yellow ones, as they do contain salt, and harvest them. The underwater world is also filled with a lot of plants, so make sure to scan them for the other milestone as well. And once you have collected 100 salt, make sure to place down the Nautilus chamber. To get in and out of it, the Freedom of the Seas milestone will be completed. And collecting this milestone will reward you with the Supreme Submarine Drive update, that's 2 of them, significant Nautilus cannon upgrade, an aquatic treasure and the osmotic generator plans. I would recommend to install all the upgrades you've received for the Nautilus right away. And of course make them touch each other for some adjacency bonus. I don't have the cannon installed yet, but of course you can place down the upgrade. And then when you install the cannon, make sure to do it next to it. When you're done, get out on the Nautilus and feel free to delete the base you've placed down to regain the materials. To fully complete this phase, we will still need to discover some planetary fauna. This will reward us with a double cultivation chamber plants, which we will need to unlock the final milestone within this phase. Of course, the hospitality milestone is an optional milestone, and you will not have to complete this in order to fully complete phase 2. Now, for the Engine of Life milestone, I would recommend to visit as many planets as possible and to discover some flora there. Of course, paradise planets are always good planets to visit, so make sure to do so if you want. Another tip when scanning planetary flora is to also keep your eyes open for these hazardous flora. They may look the same on every planet, but they will count as another new scan on every planet. Of course, there can be multiple variations on one planet, so make sure to get them all. And once you have scanned 20, the Engine of Life milestone will be completed, and this will reward you with a double cultivation chamber plants, a supreme scanning system upgrade, and 2 powerful mining beam upgrades. Make sure to install the mining beam upgrades right away onto your multi-tool. And of course make them touch your mining system for an adjacency bonus. Now, I myself prefer to install both of the mining beams and to not install the scanner module right away. Of course, you can unlock another slot on your multi-tool and then install it, or choose to not install one of the mining beam upgrades. It's up to you really. So for the final milestone on the second phase, we will need to construct the double cultivation chamber on our freighter. The double cultivation chamber will require 60 silver, 35 oxygen and 25 fecium. So an easy way to get some fecium would be to either feed some wildlife and have them poop and then collect it, or by killing them, as killing them will give you mordite. And mordite can be refined into fecium at a 3:1 ratio. So if you're going this way, just make sure you have at least 75 mordite. Alternatively, if you scan some of the trees on this world, these will also give you fecium next to carbon. So once you have either collected more than 75 mordite, or of course more than 25 fecium, it's time to head back towards your freighter. So once you are on your freighter, open up the build menu and select the double cultivation chamber. Choose a nice spot to place it down and do so. After doing so, the Air We Breathe milestone will be completed, and collecting this milestone will reward you with the biological room expansion plants, the nutrition room plants, and a collection of plantable seeds. And as mentioned earlier, this will conclude the second phase of the Polestar Expedition, and this will reward you with the high gravity freighter trail customization, which I will of course show you at the end of this video. But first, let's have a look at the optional quest, Hospitality, which will require you to visit another player's freighter base. The easiest way to get this would be if a friend can invite you to their game, and then just to accept it. Of course, choose the expedition save file and load into their game. You should spawn in the same system and you should see your friend's freighter hanging around in space. Just fly there and board it. Once you do, the hospitality milestone will be completed. And as I said, claiming this milestone will reward you with the Atlas Pass set, 5 million units and the Portal Glyph set. Now I get that not everybody of you has friends who are playing No Man's Sky. If you don't, you can always head to the anomaly, make sure to enable multiplayer and then ask some people if they can summon their freighter for you and if you can join them. Other advice would be to check on some Facebook groups or some Reddit groups, or even use the Twitter groups function to find some people who are willing to invite you to their game. Or you can also leave your request down in the comments below. I'm sure somebody will read over it who is willing to help you. Let me equip the Starship Twill we have just received and I'll showcase it to you. To do this, make sure to head up to the upgrade control aboard your freighter's bridge. Select Customize Appearance and then go to the Engines tab. Here you'll see the gravity drive we have just unlocked. And I will of course fly out to show it to you in person. So while I'm making my way out, I would like to ask you to please leave a thumbs up if you liked the video. Let me know in the comments down below what you did most, and please subscribe to see more No Man's Sky content in the future. I will of course do my best to upload Phase 3 as soon as possible, following by Phase 4 and Phase 5. And that's how the capital freighter engine looked like in real life. I would say that this is quite a nice reward and I would hate it to miss it. But other than that, of course, that was all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope to see you in the next one.